ban. It's back. Better than ever. Just for fun. Also, I like this from Minority, getting rid of the Sephira. Just for fun, do have the first pick this time. That may serve them well, because first pick can sometimes function almost as an extra ban.
Exactly, because you don't have to ban that hero out on your side.
This means a lot of the onus on getting rid of the quote-unquote powerful characters, the quote-unquote overpowered characters, goes to the red side, Minority in this case, who need to make sure they don't leave anything for Just for Fun to scoop up first try.
I'm actually curious about how both of these teams are going to go about it now that their strategies have been banned out. Can't go for the Immortal strategy here from Minority. And if you're Just for Fun, your strategy just revolves around Tony Wright getting that farm, and I don't think you're going to first pick Tell or Wisp here.
Team E, removed Just for Fun.
I
Want
like it.
Nothing to do with that.
I like it. I'm back in love with Just for Fun.
Elsu.
They won't have you back, I don't think. So does this mean, yeah, Elsu goes out
Has
here,
to go out. Richter's still on the cards. That
Yeah.
should be the first pick for Just for Fun, but they want the support more. They get the Annette. That means I would be astonished if Minority don't take advantage of that. First, though, they want to make sure they lock out their side lane, and I'm a little bit surprised by the Mina Lumber pick. You don't need to support this early on. You have options. As you can see them cycling through the ball, they have options. They do not need to pick a Lumber this early.
I think they want to give the rest of the draft, put themselves in a position so they can counterpick, rather than devote their early picks and put them in a position where they are in trouble later on.
Yeah, they definitely disagree with my obvious selection of the Richter. I just think he's so powerful, and they maybe don't agree. Instead, they will look for a Crashed in that same lane.
Ooh.
Ignis coming through in mid, the first time we've seen him for a while.
Oh,
No, Flash.
yeah.
Okay, we're seeing... Okay, J5 played Flash yesterday. Seems to be something he's comfortable with.
Very
We're
good.
seeing the after effects of banning Superman. Because is January playing Crushed here?
I'd assume so, but we will need to know. Maybe you could see us.
Yes.
Yeah, it has to be. Okay.
Wisp, give me it. Sorry.
So that's probably Angela's
No
argument,
marks.
based on what you've said.
No, double marksman. Surely
Yeah.
not. Are they doing that?
I like it. Do it.
You have so many squishies you're playing into. This should be a melee jungle, in my opinion. I hard disagree. You have a Flash. You already have sustained damage. Sustained damage is not actually what Minority should be looking for. They want to punish the CC engages they have. They have the Lumber, they have the Crush, they have the Flash, all of which have massive AoE stuns. I would have much preferred to see them go for something that can really capitalize on those big AoE stuns with big burst damage. For them to go not just for a marksman in jungle, but a marksman in jungle that does sustained damage. I actually really disagree with that. I think Minority have blundered in the draft.
I disagree with your disagreement. And if I brought you over to the Cully train, then I should be able to bring you over to this one, because they're going for as much poke as possible. The more poke, the better you're able to take out the front line. And what I think they're trying to do here is utilize the distraction from the Flash so that the opposing backline has to just run away for a little bit, and that allows their two marksmen to get massive damage in the front.
But surely they're going to run into exactly the same problem we've seen almost all Valor series long, which is it doesn't matter how much poke you have if the enemy is burning through your squishy HP characters.
Well, they do have a higher HP in the front lines in their opposing side with the Lumber and with that Crush, who has massive metamorphosis. So I think they're going to be able to do just fine there. On the other side, it's only going to be, you know, the Annette that they burn through, and perhaps the Zephyrus.
I don't want to do this, especially after we criticized Daniel so much for doing it. But I really like this Just for Fun drafting game too. I think they might be able to pull it out to repeat act and turn it for the second time in a row in the second game in a row.
I don't think you'd criticize Daniel for doing that. That's exactly what Just for Fun did yesterday. They lost the first game, they turned up, they played very, very strongly in the second one. Here's your final game of the first week of the Valor series. After all the incredible matches we've had, what do we get between Minority and Just for Fun with TJ and D2?
Valor series week 1, the grand finale.
Okay, don't get me wrong, TJ. I still love Just for Fun. I still think they're going to win this one, and I love their draft. But I really like Double Marksman. Don't underestimate it.
I'm hesitant to believe that this Minority comp came out on top. I do think if they play the same way, it doesn't really matter because the comp's still good enough.
Right, but I'm looking at... I think that Just for Fun are going to win, not because of what you deem to be a blunder, but because Tony Wright is just that right.
All right. Here's the pressure onto Tony, right? He'll need to back out as AD's hero manages to push forward, taking the lead in this initial fight and threatening both Seagull and Minion Line. He'll get both.
Well, a little bit of pressure coming in from J5. Did he put himself in trouble here? Uh-oh, he doesn't have a dash.
Lots of trouble, especially as the blinding light comes through, but the rest of Just4Fun had already assumed they won't get the kill, so they turned around and gave it up.
And he decided to dash out of there with that sprint, by the way, that he has on him.
How do you feel about sprint on Flash? It's obvious on Superman why that happens, but why are you running sprint on Flash?
Trying to get that passive off a little bit more here, I suppose, and we'll help him out in that regard. And already has a dash, perhaps he just wants to be able to rotate around the map.
Could you explain the Flash passive, maybe for some newer viewers?
So if you go 1,000 units, you're able to dash with a punch and get more damage on that punch, as well as get a shield. And usually you do that with your super speed, I believe it's called, with the dash, but in this case you can just do it with your normal running.
Here's the Just4Fun focus on the Spirit Sentinel. They'll be able to do a decent amount of damage in. January needs to bail because there's the death from above already landed onto him. 80's hero does win the duel in the bottom lane as maybe got from Minority sweeps up and cleans up the top lane fight as well. There are 3 kills on the board and all of them are to Minority.
After the great rotations we saw yesterday from Just4Fun, it starts to turn sloppy this time as they lose 2 up top and 1 in the bot.
And they lose so much jungle during this time as well. The pressure comes in from Just4Fun. They're taking away golem after golem. Secret does land the death back in, does the vault, but will farm it up if he can stay in the fight long enough, and he doesn't want to.
The speed from Flash and Lindis is just running them around in circles. Speaking of Just4Fun, they cannot keep up right now. They need to just go back and play defensive.
Vicky was playing pretty well, but I don't think they expected Minority to have the full rotate up to them so quickly.
Yeah, Vicky, aka Broken in the qualifiers, is, you know, he's always been a little bit timid, but this time a little bit too aggressive in this case. A Secret, oh my goodness.
Let's have some breaks available. Didn't think it was worth brawling January for.
Okay, I just realized this, but Angela is not on the sideline this time. Now he's on the support. And this is interesting because usually we see Secret on it, but Secret's gone to the side lane. A little bit of a switch that we were not expecting.
Anthony Angelo's mechanics will not go amiss here as the Abyssal Dragon is up for grabs. Maybe God's in a lot of trouble as Vicky lands the damage, but maybe will manage the disengage. Now the rampage comes through. Earth Splitter to land. Big damage out for Tony Wright. The kills begin to come through. Nani gone, but it's trade. And Tony Wright's off the cards. Silence needs to bail. Maybe God's in the same place. Nobody gets the Abyssal, but Silence does fall, making it a 2-for-1 fight. So far, might get worse. Nice little win cuffs. Angela still in trouble. And the flank from J5 can't quite find the kill. Angela, how on earth have you not only lived, but turned the tables with a kill onto January?
It was Vicky going in there with the death from above as well to make sure that he got that kill big from them. But 80's hero has been such a menace thus far.
Split push in the top lane might have been a little bit too much. 80's hero will get the mid tower, but Secret goes too far forward and gets punished by maybe Gods.
I want to talk about 80's here. He's been doing such a good job. He fended up 2 heroes that prevented maybe Gods from going down. He's providing so many roles for his team, not just the marks, but using that slow as a pseudo support.
Nani will try and charge forward. Does actually successfully steal that jungle camp. Starving Vicky of a little bit extra farm, and Just4Fun are at a pretty significant gold deficit.
Absolutely. They're starting to build that gold lead, like you mentioned, from that Minority, and it's up to Tony Wright to try to bring that back. Actually going for that roar on his talons. He's going to be doing so much damage if he can start to get built up.
The Abyssal Dragon focused down. Nani challenges and disengages.
Oh, Tony!
Tony wins the fight, but it will be a 1-1 trade. Maybe got knocked very low by his passive, actually.
Yeah.
The martyrdom effect, really. He dies, it leaves behind a series of explosions, and they hurt.
And they rarely kill people, except in that case when Tony Wright was very far forward, so that case actually helps them out.
He had to run through them knowingly in order to stay alive in face of the rest of the punish.
That still helps them out, though. Looks like Just4Fun perhaps going to go for this. No one in the vicinity except for Nani, who's on the support.
Household.
Household.
Earth Splitter can steal us.
It doesn't do that much damage, though.
And lined up too early on. J5 comes in. Minority steal the dragon.
That was great scouting there from Nani, allowing J5 to come in with a super speed and take it out. Vicky doing tons of damage.
The Cyclone! J5 through his second kill. It'll be Silence. Maybe Gods picks it up. Tony Wright has the punish as well in some response, but Nani's there, and maybe Gods finds himself a double kill.
Minority putting on so much pressure right now. Secret cannot take out January, and he needs to be able to if they're going to come back into this game. Now we're getting chased down by J5. Can he take him out with that mock punch?
J5 can. He'll slide on in, and now they've got the wave push. Angela to fall in mid. Minority have begun to run away with this.
Just4Fun starting to fall apart here. Minority showing their experience and starting to take them out one by one.
Double marksman meta looking very strong, apparently.
It looks like I cursed my own team.
You did side with me over Just4Fun for that second game.
I said I like Just4Fun. I just said that the double marksman is pretty good.
Okay. Well, thank you for agreeing with me and accepting that Minority would win.
Yeah, if you hedge your bets enough, you're going to be right. That's basically how that goes.
Vicky will be chased out of lane. Not hedging his bets enough. Committing to retreating.
Well, Minority in a great spot at the moment. Massive gold lead, massive tower lead, and massive
Hurricane Wall. Never mind. I got excited. The Hurricane Wall was well played. Angela Zoo almost made something out of it, but the flicker was already down. There was no way to save it. And J5 is continually risking his life.
In there, Baby God's not afraid.
Yeah. Well, he's got so much backup. Nani there for the rampage if things get dangerous, and J5 constantly able to just commit to these fights.
And he had triple buff too. He had the Spirit Sentinel buff as well as the blue and red buffs. He had extra speed because of the Spirit Sentinel buff, able to get in and out there with no trouble. 80's hero just gonna take down this tower because it's his.
As I like to say, when you have more than 2 buffs, you're swole.
What if you have 3 buffs?
Super swole.
What if you have 5 buffs? That's actually possible.
I wasn't prepared for that question. Angela Zoo will get chased back. The Earth Splitter does land. That creates an opening. J5 as well, and it's a beautiful 2 kills to be picked up.
You see those massive purple numbers? That means he's doing magical critical damage.
Oh, J5. A little bit too much. Nani eats the tower shot, so he might live, and it works out.
The pressure just never ending here from Minority. Though J5 goes down, that's okay. Maybe a little bit of a connection issue, but he's fine.
He'll be saved as the pressure comes through. Silence needs to run, otherwise it'll be an ace onto Just4Fun. He stays alive. Vicky and Angela will return.
Mid-tower.
Yep, this is not looking good if you like high grounds. There's the commit from Vicky, though. He's got the wave clear. January can't take it for that long. Now that the Metamorphosis is down, maybe Gods can be bullied back.
I love the commitment from the 2 tanks. Just getting in there, it's like, we like to take down towers as well. Nearly took it out, but unfortunately, they probably need their marksman to do it.
Or a Dark Slayer.
One of the 2. You know, Drake, marksman, same thing. They can both take him out.
And we're hitting that point of the game where Minority are starting to drift back and think, oh, maybe if we just got the Dark Slayer, the game would be over.
You know, one of the weaknesses of Telos is taking those towers, but they do have, or excuse me, it's one of the weaknesses of Lindis.
But Just4Fun know the Slayer take is happening. Secret actually dodged detection. They don't know he's here. He can get in, but he's too late.
Only has 1 ability to his side in order to try to steal that. Didn't get it off in time. Here comes Earth Splitter. Can they get him? Actually, they may be
nicely
able to.
Done. That was actually really sick.
So Secret actually used his Death Beckon to escape, or excuse me, Death Embrace to escape, but J5.
1, 2, almost. An excellent Cyclone, the flash pick working out. Like you say, use the Death Beacon, no ults available. Silence is already down. Here's the push for the game as the Drake arrives. January whips the ult, but will take the high ground tower. 80's hero grabs a kill as well. This could be the game. This should be the game as Baby Gods has arrived. Vicky will crumble. Secret needs to dip back behind the core. They want to find the kills. They want to turn this round, but there is simply no way as Minority take a 2-0 final game.
Beautiful play from Minority there, leading from start to finish, showing why they are the veteran team and showing why double marksman is a thing, DJ.
My trust is rewarded. I never doubted them for a second.
Well, that's one way of describing it. Okay, well, another 2-0. What a day it's been of big one-sided results, if not necessarily one-sided games. Or 5 of our matches now. We've had 2-0s today. It was just the opening one that turned into 1-0. And our little dream of Just for Fun being this kind of super unknown super team. And you broke their hearts earlier on. I'm blaming some square.
Yes,
you here. Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, so. It's belief is what you need. And
he was their
Just
coach.
Ooh, that
and he
changes things,
abandoned them.
Yes, Just for Fun go down 2-0 to Minority. Minority, a team who went down 2-0 yesterday to
Price Dark.
Price Dark Gaming. Price Dark Empire. Price Dark Empire. Yeah, or BM Gaming. It's one of those, bits of those, both of those.
BM Empire?
No, Price Dark Empire, who knocked Minority down 2-0 yesterday. Minority now knocked down Just for Fun. So this league is anything is very, very wide open, up for grabs.
Is anything or anything?
Is anything is anything.
It could mean anything, but it recontextualizes those results. Because like I said, this means that perhaps Minority look better for slowly, steadily grinding out a loss versus Pride Stark than Just for Fun look for managing to upset BM Gaming. Maybe you come out of these few games and you say, BM Gaming are looking a little bit shaky, a little bit inconsistent, and Pride Stark might be an empire on the rise.
I feel like if Minority had played this way yesterday, then this would not have been the result. Even if they had lost, it wouldn't have been the one-sided affairs that we saw.
I mean, it is still, I've said it before, I'll say it again, early in the Vale series. There's loads of it still to come. So, we were looking at yesterday and going, okay, was that Just for Fun stepping up, or was that BM Gaming maybe making some mistakes, or maybe not taking it too seriously? Just for Fun, yeah, they got outplayed here, there's no question about it.
The one thing yesterday was, Just for Fun, they had really good rotations in Game 1, and then when they started to fall behind, they really fell apart. Game 2, they were able to keep their composure the entire time, but they never suffered a serious blow. This time, they suffered pretty serious blows in both games, and they fell apart both games. So that is an issue for Just for Fun going forward.
It felt like they got hit by a truck with that seeming flicker engage in game number 1, and they never really found their feet again.
I mean, that's bad. If you get hit by something in one game and it affects your next game, that's something you need to deal with.
Absolutely. And
it's not always going to go your way.
Newer teams oftentimes struggle with that mental game, but Just for Fun have demonstrated they have the talent to turn this round, and like we were talking up, Minority have just shown that they have a little bit more depth than maybe their initial showing implied, meaning that North America is getting very busy indeed.
Yeah, so there's a lot to play for here. And remember, actually, out of these 6 teams in each of our 3 regions, the top 4 of the 6 teams in each of our regions go to our finals, which are at the start of April in Sydney. So you've got to want to be in that top 4, and it's going to be really, really contested throughout the season.
Glancing at our stat line for this game, I'd like to highlight Maybe God as our MVP just for that kill line. 11, 0, and 2.
That is combined kills and assists more than 3 times Just for Fun.
And so much of that was off of his fantastic positioning. He was playing jungle marksman, something that has fallen a little bit out of favor, but the one jungle marksman I still 100% believe in is the Lindis because of that scorching wind.
Right, and again, I think that this is the way to go forward. Even if you pick a marksman jungler, that doesn't preclude you from going for a marksman side lane. You don't lose that power from the side lane from pushing out the opposing hero. You don't lose the tower pushing pressure that you have because Lindis doesn't take down towers very well, but Telenos does.